Well, hello, you beautiful, beautiful people. Welcome to another episode of Escaping Shadows. As you can tell, we're in a new spot, new space, a new breath of fresh air. Not so crowded. We have places that we can move, swing, all sorts of room for activities. Over the past couple weeks, if you did notice, my videos were actually taken down, and I changed my name briefly on the page. If you were unaware, my husband's channel was actually hijacked. Crazy, crazy chain of events happened. It started with him getting a couple emails back to back offering him these sponsorship things. He emailed, and I think it was within 5 minutes, he was no longer able to access his Google. He was no longer able to access his YouTube, everything. It was just gone. So once we realized what was going on, we immediately jumped into action and started trying to get back into everything. And we were having zero luck at all. So we were pulling our hair out. He ended up going to the bank and withdrawing what money was in there. We shut down accounts. It was a mess. He ended up staying up all night trying to do whatever he could. I couldn't. I needed sleep. So we did everything we could. Well, the next morning, he finally was able to hear back from YouTube and Google. I think within like 2 minutes of each other, they contacted him. They were able to see the exact moment the hackers took over his accounts. They were able to see everything that the hackers did, and they were able to kick the hackers out, get him access back to everything, and change everything to where he had everything back. Props. Props to YouTube and Google for taking care of content creators, because the way they handled that, they were on it and they made sure it was taken care of. He did not lose anything. It didn't seem like the hackers had really done a whole lot. There's concern that it might have been somebody local that did this, so that's concerning also. But because of this concern, I was afraid that given the sensitive topics that I discuss and the purpose of my channel, because as I've stated since the beginning, my channel is to not only help others in the world with letting them know that they're not alone in things that they struggle with, but also to leave my children with my story from me. I was afraid that my videos, if a hijacker were to take over my account, not that my account is anywhere as big as his, but it could happen to anybody, then my videos would go missing. And the whole purpose of this channel would just be gone. Because I'm an idiot. And although I don't save my videos, I did in the beginning. I was saving them to my Google Drive, And then I was filling up my Google Drive so fast that I couldn't upload more stuff to it. So on top of work stuff I was putting in, it was just filling up incredibly fast. So even with whenever I quit my job, I was deleting a bunch of stuff. It still did not lessen the amount of space that I was taking with videos and pictures that I needed for my videos. So I thought, okay, well, they'll be on YouTube. It'll be okay. They'll be on YouTube forever. I'm dumb. So I pulled them as a precaution in case, because my husband has tagged me in videos, if that person were to have found my page through any of his stuff, or the fact that he uses some of my stuff as his security stuff, they could have found my information and linked. Because who knows? You never know. You never know what they're doing. So, as a safety precaution to save these videos for the purpose that I'm making them for, I went ahead, pulled them down, and downloaded so that I could have them for the girls and if anything were to ever happen in the future. Thank you for those that did reach out. I'm sorry. I did not anticipate anybody at all noticing that I was doing this because I did it in the off week and I did not think it was going to take as long as it did. I thought, honestly, I could do it ninja style and nobody would even notice. So the fact that there were those that did reach out in concern, thank you so much for the concern. But everything is okay. I am okay. Rick is okay. The girls are okay. We're good. And I appreciate the concern. But the videos, they should be back up now. My name is back to what it was. I did change my name as one of those, like, oh, if they try to search my name, they're not going to be able to find me things because I'm just weird like that. Just, I'm weird like that. I didn't know. I don't know. You never know. Again, you've got to take whatever steps you can to protect yourself, protect your family, and protect what you create, especially nowadays. So I was doing whatever I could. And we were already at our, oh crap, here we go. Who knows what's going to happen? We thought we had lost his entire channel and his everything. And it was scary. It was very scary. I was watching my husband's dreams just be stripped away from him. But luckily, it wasn't. And again, I applaud and I encourage everybody to applaud the amazing YouTube support and Google support team for the amazing work they did when it came to protecting content creators. Because that was just chef's kiss. So, with that being said, thank you guys. I love you. And I appreciate you so much. I really do. I appreciate you guys for looking out for me and making sure that everything was okay, because I don't think there really is a lot of people in my life who would. So I appreciate you. I know that you guys really don't know physically me, but I feel like there are some of you out there who I know more than I know people that I'm related to by blood. And I appreciate that. So thank you. Now, we will get to it. I know this was a long intro. I'm sorry. But all right. We're gonna grab our drinks. Today I have got chocolate caramel coffee, I think is what it is. Yes, chocolate caramel coffee. Mood lighting. Comfy clothes. Gotta have those comfy clothes. Comfy seat. Not as comfy as I thought. We'll talk about this in the video too. I don't think we shot this in the video. Rick put it up without putting up the camera. Sorry. Comfy clothes. Grab your drink. Sit back. Chillax. And let's talk about different abilities. All right? I'll see you in a few. No, I won't. You'll hear me in a few. Ha.
I get myself with my corniness sometimes. So, what we're going to talk about in this video is not just what you're visually seeing, which is me creating my new studio, which is the combination of me taking over Rick's old studio space and combining it with mine. But we're also going to talk about the different abilities of the children. We will get to that because here in a second, you're going to see me stumble upon something that I'm excited to show you guys. Brief pause.
Make sure this shows up on camera. This is actually from when my dad passed away. So this is from when my dad passed away before they got his headstone. This was like the marker. McNeil marker is what it's called. They put these out there before the headstones get made and delivered. When I was given a shoebox of his belongings, this was one of the things I was given, was the marker. I'll have to take you guys out to his headstone one day because his headstone is, it's probably an hour and a half away from us. And it's in this small town, and it has my mom and my dad on it. So my mom is actually supposed to be buried next to him. But yeah, little marker. I also, while we're doing this, this is the shoebox of his belongings. And in the shoebox, I have his wallet, and it has his, I'm not sure what that is, a card explaining that he had diabetes. And then there's a picture of me, some other pictures of people, a whole bunch of just business cards. And then whatever these things are. I think he rode motorcycles. So he had some typical what you would expect out of motorcycle riders back in the 80s kind of stuff. Like, I, I, I could be wrong here, but I think this is a necklace. Oh, no, it is. That's a chain necklace, like a literal chain. And then his I have diabetes tag. And then I've got his knuffs, his comb. I had his class ring, but when I moved for my job down to Savannah, Georgia, it got broken and lost. The movers had, even though I specifically told them do not open certain boxes because I wanted it all kept together, they opened them and broke and lost some of my dad's stuff. So my already minimal items that I had for him got even less because they opened stuff. But I've got the book from his funeral and visitation of everybody who was there that day. I've got this ring. I don't know if this was his wedding band. If so, he had very small fingers. Or maybe it was my mom's wedding band. I'm not sure. She might still have hers. I don't know. But, yep. Just a little bit of stuff that I keep near my desk for whenever I'm learning more stuff as we're learning about my dad on this journey that I can pull out and go through. Because as you know, from the first few videos, there's not a whole lot that we have to go off of. It's mainly what other people are telling us, what I've been investigating, what my sister's been investigating, and this box. So, yeah. All right. Carry on.
So I wanted to brief pause and show you guys that, because if you go back a few videos, I talk about the shoebox. I can't remember if I ever showed you guys the shoebox or any of the stuff inside of the shoebox, but that is the shoebox of my dad's belongings. Any hoodles. So our video today, we are going to talk about the kiddos. Yay! For those that don't know, we have the 3 kiddos at home. I have birthed the 3 kiddos at home. We have A, she is 8, or I'm sorry, she is 9. We have Bug, she will always be my Bug. She has been Bug since birth, and she will always be my Bug. She is 8. And then we have baby Larry. Just so it is known, I did not give her that nickname. That was a Rick thing. But baby Larry is 3. So each one of our kiddos that are at home, they have their own different kind of abilities. We call them different abilities. To the quote unquote government world or outside world, they would be labeled as disabilities. But we don't look at them as disabilities because there's nothing wrong with them. They're just different. They have different abilities that make them super. that make them special. So we're going to go. Oh, side note, that was me, my senior picture. One of my senior pictures. Sorry. Side quest. Anyways, we love the randomness, right? Anyways, so we're going to talk about each one's different abilities. We'll start with A. So, A has a condition called DMDD. She also has ADHD. DMDD, for those who don't know, she has the childhood form of bipolar. Because she is not the age 16, she it's classified as DMDD, I think is how it works. So she struggles with childhood bipolar mixed with ADHD. Basically, I her and my husband share a lot of the same traits. They understand a lot of the same struggles in each other. It can be difficult, especially when they're in the same kind of roller coaster at the same time. But having them understand each other has been kind of a blessing because they know how the other one feels. Whereas I don't fully understand what it's like living with bipolar disorder. So the fact that she can go to him and he knows what her struggles are, it has been a blessing. And I hate it at the same time. I hate that they both have to go through this, but I love that they have each other to go through it together. If that makes sense. I know like in my head it makes sense, but I don't know if it makes sense outside of my head. But, yeah, and then, of course, I understand the ADHD because I struggle with it as well, so it I get that part. Now we'll talk about Buggy, my little bug. Bug has ASD. For those who don't know, ASD is autism spectrum disorder. She was diagnosed at age 3. It wasn't until after her primary had done a yearly exam, we went in and she just kind of sat in a corner the whole time and refused to talk, which was not uncommon because at this time she was pretty nonverbal. She screamed. That was her main form of communication. She would say a few words like mom, um, dog, hot dog, Forky. Forky was her favorite character on Toy Story. We watched Toy Story, I crap you not, probably 30,000 times. I could probably quote every Toy Story movie. She loved Toy Story. So, anyways, she was 3 years old and it it was a shock, but at the same time it wasn't because I had known something was not right. A normal child, I say normal, and that's not what I mean. A typical child would not purposely slam their head on concrete when they were upset, and Buggy would. She would get upset and she would find the hardest surface possible and slam her head against it. And it would typically be concrete. And it was because she didn't know how to communicate. So, after getting her diagnosis, we went through multiple.
multiple different specialists. We have a whole team of doctors now that she goes to. Still to this day, at 8 years old, she has a whole team. She has a neurologist, she has her pediatric specialty team. She had a cardiologist because she was born with a PFO. She had a lung pulmonologist. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. A whole bunch of doctors. But, anyways, so she's done a whole bunch of different therapies. She's she's doing pretty good. I actually am very, very proud of her because over the past few weeks, we have had some pretty big events that have involved a lot of people, and people have never been her thing. And she has done so well at these events. She actually, at one of the events, she wanted to go. She went with me by herself, took her headphones with me, and it was a big auction fundraiser event that I was working at. And she came, put her headphones on. She even talked to children by herself and played with them. And it, I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I'm like, yay, because my bug doesn't do that. She's never done that. And she did it. And it was just a very proud mom moment for me. So yeah, she's growing up on me, and it's crazy and amazing at the same time. For anybody who has anybody with ASD in their lives and they struggle with people, you know how huge of an accomplishment that is. So now, baby Larry. Baby Larry. Have you ever heard of the F pies? Because I hadn't. I had never heard of it until 3 years ago. Three yeah, about 3 years ago. FPIES stands for food protein induced enterocolitis syndrome or something like that. I don't know. Basically what it is your body is just doesn't like certain types of food proteins. Well, that is the great thing that baby Larry decided that her body was going to have. Uh, it was a hell of a first year to 3 years of her life. I'm not going to lie. It was very, very scary. For the first 3 months of her life, I did not sleep as my husband did because he was working and I was at home with her, and she couldn't eat. She couldn't sleep because she was in pain and we didn't know why. We were told it was colic. We were told it was something with her innards, and it ended up causing her to get taken to a big hospital in an ambulance and a week in the hospital. And then she got taken up in a helicopter and another week in the hospital. And then we went to Riley's Children with another week in the hospital. It was a lot. And then we finally figured out what it was, and it was F pies. So, anyways, um, yeah, what this video is about is that each one of our children have different things with them. We call them different abilities. Why different abilities, you ask? Because we don't ever want our children to ever look at themselves as if they have a handicap or a disadvantage. because even though the world might label them as if they are broken or there's something wrong with them, we don't ever want them to feel like they have that label. We want them to look at their differences as a superpower, that they have the mindset that if the world doesn't work for them, they can change the world to where it will work for them. So, why am I talking to you guys about this? Because this doesn't just go for kids, my kids, your kids, anybody's kids. This is for all of us. We, as any person, have to create a world that works for us. I have my own struggles. For an example, I have been struggling with muscle issues over the past few weeks that have gotten very difficult. And something that used to take me 10, 15 minutes tops is now taking an hour, hour and a half. And because of that, it has been weighing on me mentally as well. So I've been coming up with little things to tweak around to make it to where I can make it work for me. This even counts as far as like how our mental stuff goes. If it doesn't work for you, make it work for you. If something in your life is more stressful for you, but it's easier for somebody else, and it's making it more difficult for you, make it to where it's easier for you also. Make life, make the world work for you. We need less stress. We need to be happier. That's that's what we're here for. We're here to be happy. We're here to love. We're here to spread kindness and just spread joy. So, with that being said, don't ever, ever forget how amazing you are, how gorgeous you are, and that the world needs you. Even on those days when you don't feel like it, the world needs you. I'll repeat it just so you don't forget. You're amazing, you're gorgeous, and the world needs you. Love you. Bye.